backed by popular demand, 3 tasty non-alcoholic cocktails, part 2. Hi everybody, so let's talk drinks. We are a drink channel that does all types of drinks, and we have found recently that our non-alcoholic cocktail video, which was 3 non-alcoholic cocktails part 1, you'll see the link at the end of this video, has gone pretty well. So I want to make more tasty non-alcoholic cocktails. So here at the 18th Amendment Bar, we actually have a designated non-alc cocktail part of our menu, and I totally encourage it. You know, if you're not drinking alcohol anymore, if you're pregnant, if you've had a big night the night before, there is nothing wrong with drinking non-alcoholic cocktails. And nowadays, what happens is there are so many different types of non-alcoholic spirits and wines and so forth that if you go to a party, if you go to a venue or something like that, why should you be looked down upon because you don't want to drink alcohol? There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm going to keep making videos so that you guys can just feel a part of it. Good on you. So the first cocktail that I'm going to make for you is a non-alcoholic sangria punch. All right, so I'm an Aussie, but I have Spanish heritage. I was born in Spain, so sangria for me is like the shit. However, this is one that doesn't have any alcohol in it as well. And the first thing that I'm going to use is 30 mils of the Lyre's white cane spirit. So this is an alternative for, let's say for example, a white rum like Bacardi or Havana Club or something like that. 30 mils or 1 ounce. We're going to shake this up. You can make this in the glass if you like. I'm going to give it a bit of a shake. Next up, I'm going to use 90 mils or 3 ounces of a non-alcoholic red wine. You can get this at your local supermarket. Here in Australia, I get it at a place called Dan Murphy's. And we're looking at 3 shots or 3 ounces. It cannot be a sangria without some form of red wine, non-alcoholic or alcoholic. Next up, I'm going to add some fruit to it. 2 wedges of orange, 2 wedges of lemon, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a press. You can do this at the start, but I like doing it once that non-alc wine and all that's in there, just to release the flavor into that. Just what it's doing there is it's adding a little bit of citrus to balance out the cocktail. Next up, for a little bit more depth of flavor, I'm going to use 15 mils of Monin Orgeat syrup. Orgeat is made from almonds, a little bit of lime. It just adds a little bit of depth and also a little bit of nice mouthfeel to this cocktail. Last but not least, 30 mils, 1 ounce of orange juice. Please freshly squeeze that orange juice. It is so much better than something that comes in a bottle. Going to get some ice, give it a good shake. And I'm going to give it a try first. Fuck, that is so good. Like seriously, hang on a minute. I think I'm going to just dump it in there. Trying to make it easier for you guys. Holy shit, I went a little bit over. Look at that. Just goes to show I'm not even going to edit this and change it. So this is a pretty small wine glass, so I would put it in something a little bit bigger. You know what, if you do this at home, there's nothing wrong with that, and I'm not going to change anything on this video, because this is what I do at home. I'm going to give it a sip so it drops down. There you go. Look at that. As far as flavor, that is delicious. It is beautiful, honestly. The non-alc red wine, that Lyre's spirit, I think for me, honestly, the hero is that Monin Orgeat syrup in there. It adds that really nice complex sweetness to the drink. You definitely do need that fruit in there to balance out the sweetness of the orgeat, but you could do this in a larger scale. So if you're doing a punch or anything like that, put it into a big container, it's fine. You probably don't need to shake it. I like shaking it because you get a little bit of the froth on top, but that's really good. You need to try that. Non-alcoholic cocktail number 2 is the Gin Basil Smash. So the first ingredient that we're going to use is about 6 or 7 basil leaves, which I like to sort of break up and drop into my muddling glass. Then we're going to just lightly press it. If you don't have a muddling stick like this, you can pretty much use anything that's got like a flat edge. I'm just trying to get that color and that flavor out of the basil. Next up is 60 mils or 2 ounces of the Seedlip non-alcoholic gin. $10 mils or 1/3 of an ounce of sugar syrup, 22.5 mils or 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. We're going to shake that up with a bit of ice. Key to this is really give it a good shake to incorporate that basil, get that flavor and that color out of the basil. I'm then going to fine strain it into a rocks glass with some ice in it. The reason that I'm fine straining or using, like, you can use like a tea strainer or anything like that, is I don't want the small particles of basil in my drink because they get stuck in your teeth, right? So I can remember years ago I served this cocktail to a beautiful young woman. I hadn't fine strained. She had a sip, said it was wonderful, looked at me, and there was a big chunk of green on her tooth, and I was too scared to tell her. All right, give that a slight stir. Even add a little bit more ice into that bad boy. And for my garnish, just a little bit of a basil sprig there as well. This is the non-alc gin basil smash. This is really good. It's herbal, it's not overly sweet, really well balanced, perfect for a summer day, spring. Yeah, definitely try one. Non-alcoholic cocktail number 3 is the Jungle Bird. The Jungle Bird is a very well-known cocktail. It's kind of like a tiki cocktail that a lot of bartenders like to drink. I'm going to make one though with no booze in it whatsoever. So the first thing that it calls for is normally like 45 mils of rum, but I'm going to use 45 mils or 1.5 ounces of the Lyre's Dark Cane Spirit, which is their riff on a dark rum. I'll tell you right now, just by smelling it coming out of the bottle, it smells awesome. Next up is 12.5 mils of sugar syrup. Then 15 mils or 1/2 ounce of Monin Bitter. This is a non-alcoholic version of Campari, I guess. Really nice too. The bitterness level is awesome. 15 mils or 1/2 ounce of lime juice. Always use fresh. And last but not least, 45 mils, 1.5 ounces of freshly squeezed pineapple juice. And we're going to give that a big shake. Going to serve that into a glass over ice. Look at the colour. All right, as far as the garnish goes, I'm going to use a dehydrated piece of pineapple. You could even do like a lime wedge, lemon wedge. Doesn't really matter, it's kind of tiki. Tiki can knock yourself out if you like. I think pineapple or lime will be great there. The Jungle Bird, non-alc version, gonna give it a try. That's really good. The Lyre's Dark Cane Spirit, it's a little bit sweet, I think, but in a good way. I really do feel that sort of sweetness that I get from a rum. In a way, it's kind of like a little bit toffee sort of flavor as well. The bitterness balances out perfectly. Like this cocktail would not work if it didn't have the Monin Bitter, or normally they'll use Campari in it. The lime juice, the pineapple, totally balanced cocktail, something that's fun. You can do this in a tiki glass, you can do whatever you like with it, as long as you use the same specs. You know what? who needs to drink alcohol when you got drinks like this? So if you can't because you're a deso driver, whatever the reason it is for you, enjoy yourself, try some of these. Please like, subscribe. We're going to do some more videos of these, and we'll see you again soon, guys, on Let's Talk Drinks.